Greetings, my friends. I am the Medieval Texan, and welcome to a different start intro to a video. So, why am I wearing this, and why do I have this lovely mustache? Well, for the next few videos, I'm going to be having a link down in the description below for donations to the Movember Foundations. If you are not familiar with it, Movember Foundation, it helps to raise awareness and money for the research into men's health issues like cancer and suicide prevention. So if you are interested and are able to, I will have a link to their donation site down in the description below for the next few videos. And yes, that's why I have the mustache, of course. No shave November. But any donation is appreciated. Every little bit helps. And I do hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching.
If you really think about it, the TH sound doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, let me rephrase that. The way it is spelled doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, who decided that a digraph would be the best way to make the sound? Wouldn't it be easier if there was a letter to denote the sound instead? Well, at one point, not only was there one way to show the sound, there were actually several. While I could very easily save time by making an episode to discuss all of them at once, for the sake of spamming out videos, why not make several? This is the story of the letter Eth. Well, first off, let's clear one thing up. While today we call this letter Eth, it was not always called so. In fact, its name in Old English was actually that. Why that name? Well, it seems it served as an abbreviated way of saying the word that. I know, kind of a short word to need an abbreviation, but let's face it, sometimes all of us lack the energy to even spell out a four-letter word. Also, it could be used in place of the word the, depending on the gender of the word, as at the time, similar to many European languages today, different words could be either masculine or feminine, something that disappeared from the English language over time. In the case of Old English, this gender system of words was similar to what you might find in modern German, as a word could be masculine, feminine, or neuter. Because of this, there were multiple ways of spelling the TH sound, including another letter, which I plan to cover in another episode eventually. Although Eth did make a slightly different TH sound compared to its counterpart, with it making a sound similar to what we see in the words this and that, while the other letter would make a sound closer to what is seen in three or thanks. Essentially, the versus the. As far as origins, the letter F differs from its counterpart as it is derived from a letter of the Latin alphabet, although some sources also point to an Irish origin for the letter, while the other letter, like Win, which we covered in the last episode, is derived from a Germanic Norse origin. The letter first seems to emerge in the late 600s or early 700s, as it is found in court documents of the Kingdom of Mercia, an early medieval Anglo-Saxon kingdom of England. Eth would become the dominant TH indicator, becoming strongly preferred in the 780s up until the reign of King Alfred the Great, when the other letter would become gradually more popular, replacing Eth to the point that the letter disappeared almost completely from English by the time of Middle English. What happened to the other letter? It would eventually be replaced itself, being killed off by a mix of geography and culture. However, I will not go into detail in this episode. That way I can have something to talk about in that letter's video. Okay, before we go further, I have a bit of a confession to make. So, the name of this series is The Dead Letters, and I spent some time in the first episode comparing the demise of the letters highlighted in the series to a murder mystery. But to be honest, the case of Eth is not actually a murder mystery. Think more along the lines of a missing persons case. Eth, in fact, unlike many of the letters that are featured in the series, has actually survived to this day. Basically, think of it less as being killed off by a new letter and more of it becoming paranoid of its scary neighbor and going into hiding. In Iceland. That's right, this letter survives to this day in other language, with it being present in the alphabet of Iceland as well as Faroese. In both of these languages, it follows the letter D and can be found in place names like the Icelandic town of Breiðdalsvík. I'm just going to stick with that pronunciation. It is also kind of present in Welsh, although there it is actually represented by two Ds. I have actually had some difficulty finding transcriptions of texts featuring the letter eth in Old English online, but have come across several images of documents that featured it. However, since I have given an example that highlighted how it sounds, as well as the fact that it is in fact still alive and well in a few different languages, I figured we could skip past the portion of the video of me attempting to use it in Old English, thereby sparing myself some embarrassment. In terms of writing the letter out, it is a fairly simple thing to do as well. The capital form eth is easy enough, as you just draw a capital D, as you normally would, before simply putting a single small crossbar across the middle of the vertical stem of the letter. The lowercase form of the word is also not that big of a challenge, as you could just think of it as writing a normal lowercase d, starting first with a loop, and just as you reach the part of the stem where it separates from the loop, rather than continuing straight up, all you have to do is curve the stem slightly before adding another bar slightly near the top. Very well, my friends, I would like to thank you very much for actually taking time to watch this episode. I am sorry it took me so long to get around to making another episode in this series, as it was not my intention to go 8 months between episodes. By the way, I have a Twitter and Instagram account connected to this channel where I share things related to the making of videos here, as well as articles and other posts that I find interesting regarding the medieval era, as well as other topics that are of interest to me. If thou didst enjoy this video, please feel free to click like and subscribe, as both those help me out greatly and is very much appreciated. And until we meet again, my friends, I bid thee farewell.